Okay. Whew. I'm a little late, guys. Sorry. Move this. Get out of here. Alright. I got the cat. I got a water bottle. I got an Uncrustable because I'm kind of hungry. We made it. Don't worry, Mochi. I know you were really worried. You were like, Mom, we're like 5 minutes late. You gotta go live or everyone's gonna be mad at you. I said, I know, Mochi. I know. We gotta hurry up, get our lives together. And then we did. Now we're here. Isn't that right, Miles? Hold on, you gotta show them the animal cam. Oh, you're not pointed the right way. View the dog. Alright, well, animal cam is a failure. This is definitely the most chaotic introduction I think I've done in a very long time. The hair has already begun sticking to my lipstick. Thank you for that, Mochi. Can you guys hear that purring? I can. If Mochi was a platform, he would be a rumble. Because of all that purring. Swear I'm gonna have to use this lint roller on my face. Good morning. How are you guys? Sorry I'm roughly 5 minutes late. Will it work? No, I just left lipstick on the lint roller. Intended action. Missed. But I'm gonna decap for myself. Good morning, how y'all doing today? Let's get this chat open. Perfectly timed, I just checked Twitch for live people. Nice. You picked a good time. Hello, everybody. Alright, I'm a little bit delayed, yes, to this Dadvocate stream that typically starts at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Let me scooch this over just a little bit. I had a rare opportunity to catch breakfast with a networking contact who I will keep vague, who I have been working with through the creator space for the last 4 years, probably ever since my very first year making TikToks. I have been working with this person professionally behind the scenes, and they know everybody. But they were in town on their way back to Chicago. We were able to meet up for breakfast, and I thought it was going to be quicker, honestly, but oh my god, did we end up yapping. This person knows everybody, every single name that you can think of, that it is even remotely in my network. This person knows them. Such a small world, so many funny stories, so much tea. So that's why I'm a little bit late. I did not want to leave the coffee shop. Oh my god, we were having fun. But, look, let's get right back into it, okay? Welcome back to another Dadvocate stream. I am your host, as always, Lauren, and this is an audio-only friendly stream. Something you can enjoy similar to a podcast. So that means, even though we will be reacting to visual cues, I will do my best to verbally describe everything going on to you. That way you can keep taking your dogs for a walk, lifting weights at the gym, driving, whatever it is that you want to do while you are enjoying this show, where we typically talk about things like dating, relationships, the relationships between men and women specifically, marriages, breakups, divorce, parenting, co-parenting, equal shared parenting, and father's rights. We make fun of cheaters, we call out double standards, and we cover all kinds of other buffoonery and bungholery in between. We try to keep this a pretty reasonable, nuanced space with humor. We just basically try to laugh at all the stuff we usually fight about. So I will also try to keep things pretty objective as we reply to things, try to offer up as many different perspectives on things as I can, but obviously we end up with our own opinions no matter what. All right, what are you guys talking about in the chat before I introduce you to today's theme of the stream. Someone said she's crazy. Every video I see just confirms it. Can't tell if you're talking about me or our original theme of the stream as noted in the thumbnail and title of the video, but you know, can't really fault you too much either or. Devon Corley's here with the very first super chat of the day. Thank you, Devon. Says, gonna start things weird, but gotta ask, what the f is a Slav? A nationality? A race? Explain? Yeah, basically both. Like a Slavic person is just someone who comes from a Slavic country. So there are physical genetic tells of a Slavic person. For example, point in case with the nose, strong Slavic nose there. But also, you know, just kind of Slavic cultural traditions. So like, we like potato, we like vodka, we like free jumping, we like parkour. So yeah, a little bit of everything, you know? ZoMG, thank you for the next super chat. Says, last super for maybe this year. I'm gone for 2 months from Friday. Vacation finally, so y'all behave now. Might be on the Discord, we'll see. Aw, you will be missed, ZoMG, but definitely enjoy your vacation. Also, italic nose? Like a Italian? Or did you mean like my nose is italic instead of bold? And tracksuits, yes, exactly. See, the Frost Spirit gets it. You understand. There's going to be a few different things that I want to get into today. We've got our main subject, of course, but then we have so many other things that I actually want to get into. In fact, actually, there's one thing I want to cover before we get into the original title of the video, which the original title of this video is a California gubernatorial candidate has recently been found out to be named in court documents where she is alleged to have thrown scalding hot mashed potatoes at her ex-husband's head. Now, if any of you guys' first thought is to be like, well, what did he do to deserve that? Hello, 911, you need to have another first thought. Like, it's interesting how when it comes to violence toward men, that's actually a very common thought pattern, is for people to immediately go, well, wait a minute, like, women aren't usually violent, so if they're going to yeet scalding hot potatoes at someone's dome, surely it must be justified and warranted. Especially someone who would go on to potentially be California's next governor. Surely this must be justified. I don't know, man. Maybe you're just a more reasonable person than me, but I tend to have the same reaction that I would have as if I heard that a woman had just been absolutely belted in the brain by some taters. Okay? Some hot-ass taters. I would not be asking, well, what did she do to deserve it? My first question would, of course, be, what the f is wrong with that dude that he couldn't think of anything else to do? There was no other way to resolve whatever was going on between them? Press X to doubt. Like, ma'am, it better be necessary self-defense that you whipped them mashed potatoes, dude. Scalding hot potatoes? Oh my god, that's not even like a cool scar, probably. I can't imagine. Burns are one of the worst feelings in the world, too. But, like I said, that's the first thing that we were planning to get into, and we will. But before that, I want to give us a little bit of an appetizer with some other content that I kind of whipped up for us. You know, it's like, I was only planning to serve you this one course, but then a surprise recipe came along, and we must get into it first. So first of all, before we get into that, who watched my video that I released yesterday on Sunday about the AI shirtless plumber prank? If not, highly recommend. It's a very fun video, but it essentially explores a new, unique trend where women are pulling a prank on their boyfriend or husbands or fiancés where they take a photo of an area of their house, usually the kitchen or the bathroom, somewhere that needs to be fixed, somewhere a maintenance man would go to work on something. And you can apparently use AI to superimpose a shirtless man working on things in various areas of your home. So the prank goes, they tell their significant other, hey, there's a guy coming to work on this or that. And then they send a picture of him with his shirt off. And they're like, he took his shirt off for some reason. And they just keep sending pictures of the shirtless guy working on things to get their significant other to crash out, have a freak out, so they can get some TikTok content. You know, that's essentially the prank. I went into my criticisms of it, as well as how it also plays on the additional insecurity, not just of you being hit on by some shirtless guy who's conventionally attractive, but also the insecurity that a man has of not being able to keep his partner safe. And when you complain to your man while he's away at work that there is some other man in your home making you uncomfortable, you're really, really messing with his head, because his cortisol is going to spike because he cannot protect you with where he is. Many of these men that I go over in this video literally end up leaving work early to deal with a situation that is not even a situation, because it's all fake, because she has nothing better to do with her day. Sorry. Mochi cat hair. Get off my face. Still worth it. Still worth it. So, a few people were asking, you know, how would this look in a gender swap? And I even brought that up in my own video. I was like, I don't think this would survive the gender swap. I do not think that people would be very cool with it. Well, I actually decided to do a little bit of homework last night to see if there was any male version of this, because I found one comment in my comment section where someone said that they did indeed see the version where a man was telling his girlfriend that a girl in a maid outfit was coming over to clean his apartment. So I found a couple of examples of this. I did find the gender swapped version of the AI house cleaner trend that men are using on their girlfriends. I want to watch these with you guys and tell me, do you feel that basically systematically, or with all of the different dynamics that are at play here, is this the exact same situation? Is it so different because men and women are so different, right? Like, most women don't fear for their man's life if they're around a scantily clad woman. You know, most women don't actually fear that a woman will physically harm their man. Not that it's impossible, it's just not like the first thing that most of us women think of. Usually our biggest fear if our man is around another attractive woman is that, you know, she's gonna try to rizz him up or something. Not so much that she's gonna like trap him in his own house and take advantage of him, as a man might be if a larger man is around his smaller woman. So I want to know if you think that the dynamics are just so inherently different that it's not even the same prank, it's not even the same test. Maybe it's actually even safer to do this prank to a woman. If you think it's just as emotionally abusive, uses too many gaslighting tools to be a fair or decent thing to do to someone, or if you thought that they were both funny both ways. I want to know what you guys think about this. Let me pull it up. I know I'm late to the game here, so I pretty much have to just pull up this page anyway, but okay. I'm gonna have to turn off the music because it is copywritten. Why? There we go. It's like, why are you not showing up? But you have to imagine that it's basically just playing like operatic music. Hold on. You know, you guys know me, being a formatting queen again. All right. Also, let me read the super chat from Corey. Hey, Lauren, you're looking healthy and well. Thank you. Hope your family is good. I love seeing pictures of Emily, Chloe, and you on your socials. Is it possible to bring Lady J on the streams? She seems great. I actually did reach out to her. I meant to go reach back out to her. That was my bad. But I asked if she ever wanted to be on, and she said, hard maybe. I don't blame her for being skeptical of stuff like that, so I might just have to, like, sell her on the idea a little bit more. But I did reach out to Lady J. I love her. Okay, let's check out what happens when the men try it on the ladies. Pranking my wife with AI cleaning lady. So she shows up in like a sports bra and yoga pants. She's in the context as my wife. He says, "Did you know that there would be a house cleaning lady that was coming in today? She came by and introduced herself and asked if there was any cleaning needing to be done." She says, "No." "So you just let some random girl in the house? Who the f—" He says, "I thought you hired her to come clean the house since you haven't had time to do it." And then sends a picture of her like wiping the fridge, smiling, as if it's like a even remotely normal thing to do when you have a maintenance worker over. Like, "Hey, smile, I'm gonna send my spouse a picture of you really quick." Like, I would be so weirded out by that immediately. He says she just started cleaning. Wife says, "No, I didn't hire nobody. Where are all her clothes? Why is she in my house? Tell her to get the f out now. School is pissing me off enough today. I can't deal with this. Kaden, get her out." Dude. This is crazy because it's like truly my first reaction is to laugh. Like, there is something funny about this. And it's funny because, like, I would also probably be having the same reaction. I'd be like, "I do not know who this person is. Get them the fuck out of my—" I would be doing the same thing. So that's why it's objectively funny. But it's actually not funny because obviously, if it was happening to me, I would not be laughing. I would not be hee hee ha ha, and I would be just as crashing out. And like, again, these are the same elements. Is when the women do it to the men, they're doing it while they're away at work. They're stressing out their partners while they're at work. So this is like just as diabolical. Your girl is at school. Depending on what you're doing, school is possibly worse than work. I do not miss school at all. It's so funny because I used to say all this like self-aggrandizing bullshit of like, if school was free, I would probably just go to school forever. Hee hee, trying to sound like such an academic. But now, like, Michigan literally just released the Michigan Reconnect program where I could go back to school for free right now. And I'm like, no, absolutely not. I do not need to be that stressed out. This poor girl is at school. And this man is at home where he could be relaxing. He could be playing Call of Duty, anxiety-free, guilt-free Diablo all day long as much as he wants. And instead he's using it to take pictures of their kitchen and superimpose some girl in the kitchen and stress out his beloved wife. God damn. So then he decides, oops, wrong one. Here we go. So then he decides he's gonna follow that up with another picture of her friggin' making a sandwich with the F me eyes. Dude, this is just like when AI made the shirtless plumber. There was one picture where they literally had like the junk outline in the pants. I'm like, damn, AI literally made this plumber shafted up for this check-in. Diabolical work. But now AI's got this house cleaner giving him the F me stare from across the room. Diabolical. Now this gets even worse. Like, bro is truly trying to cause the crash out of the year. He goes, "Well, I thought you hired her because she asked if I was hungry and started making me sandwiches because I was hungry." Then he unsends 2 messages. Bitch, what are you unsending? You already got me rolling up my sleeves. I ain't even dating your ass. You'd have me whipping my engagement ring across the room. What do you mean? She's in here making you sandwiches and you are unsending things? You better resend it. You better resend it right now. Kaden, make your own fucking sandwich. She can't, dude, she's so pissed. She's not even spelling right. You ever been there? You ever been there where you are just fat fingering everything because you're like, she is the biggest bitch in the world. Like, you're just like blood spiking. Oh, Lord, dude, he is sending her to Spiral City. So many gray hairs right now. Why is she still in my fucking house? I'm coming home. Why is there some random making my man a sandwich? What the fuck is happening? Kaden, I'm a tweet. Dude, he's making her leave school. Dude, what an asshole. Do you know how much she's paying to be there? Do you know how much money she's losing? How, like, dude, college is no joke. If you miss 1 hour, you are now 7 years behind in the whole history. Like, it's crazy how in college you'll literally walk out of the seminar for like 10 minutes to go pee. You come back and they've somehow covered like 7 different wars. And you're like, what? It's like math class that are taught 3 new formulas and now you're getting quizzed on it. Like, you cannot miss any time in college, okay? Samantha says gamers, significant others for the win. We are never too bored to pull BS like this. This is some bored person nonsense. I know, dude. If Andrew ever leaves Sam home alone, he is never going to have to worry about no AI shirtless nobody. All he has to worry about is Sam being sad because she did not, in fact, catch another shiny Sprigatito. Like, that's all he's ever going to have to worry about. He says, I wanted the house cleaned I wanted the house cleaned up and I didn't tell her to leave yet because it's free house cleaning. Kaden, I will clean. I swear to God, if she's there when I get home, I'm going to go to jail today. Even after I tell you I didn't hire her, you're keeping this random girl in our house, letting her make you a fucking sandwich. Like, are you good? Dude, this is what I'm saying. Like, this is so freaking abusive because it's like the game here, like the joke is I'm going to actively stomp all over your boundaries and your clear communication and stress you out and make you leave class and make you extremely upset. And then there's the other like manipulation aspect to this. Like there are actually like pickup artist communities like who are incredibly misogynistic, who are literally out there just to use and abuse women. And they teach things like, you know, if you really want your woman to be obsessed with you have to constantly make her think that there's a threat. You have to constantly make her think that there are all kinds of other women you can have, and that will make her act like more of a freak. These are things that men actually teach. They teach things like negging, which is the verb of being a negative person. Basically is like you constantly put them down to make their self-esteem lower so that you basically have more control over them. So what this could be read as is he is creating a superficial threat to manipulate her into doing more domestic labor for him, despite the fact that he is at home doing jack all and could be cleaning the place himself, and now he's managed to manipulate her into thinking she needs to clean more on top of being a student so that she doesn't get cheated on. Dude, that is literally one of the most toxic things you could possibly do. And this is a prank? Dude, what a fucking asshole. Hayden trolled too close to the sun. Dude, clearly. Punsiger says, yeah, he's good now, but he's totally effing dead when she gets home. Swear to God, if she's there when I get home, I'm gonna go to jail today. I'm not even gonna lie, this would absolutely be my response. Like, you can make fun of me for being a crash out queen, but this would be me. Even after I tell you I didn't hire her, you're keeping her in our house. Caden says, or Hayden, I don't even remember his name. Yeah, it's Caden. I don't know why you're tweaking so bad. The house is a mess. It's free cleaning. She offered to make me food because I'm hungry. I don't think it's that deep. So now he's literally gaslighting her. This is the definition of gaslighting. Gaslighting being one of the most abusive things that you can possibly do to a person. You are causing harm. You know you are doing it. You know that you are making up things that are not real, that you are like selling her on to make her feel crazy. Then when she's like basically calling it out, you're continuing to double down. You're continuing to go, no, you're crazy. You're out of line. You're the one in the wrong here. Caden, you are a fucking dick. You are an absolutely degenerate fucking loser, Caden. I'm so mad at you. She goes, are we dead ass? She's a fucking stranger in our house. What? It's not that deep? Okay, when I get home, both of you better be gone or I'm throwing your shit out of the house. Please say you're joking. I'm just kidding, baby. It's AI, not a real person. Well, cool, great. So you ruined our entire relationship over not a real person. Good job, Kaden. Like, oh my god. Dylan argues it's not gaslighting, it's LED lighting. Okay, fair, that's funny. Caption says, this was funny as F to do. These comments are so bad. This is the bad place. Tell her she's overreacting and to calm down. That should help. And suddenly she's totally fine cleaning the house and making her man some food. This sort of like this is really dark psychology at play right now. My house, how much of the mortgage does she pay? It doesn't matter, dude. Dude, it doesn't matter. People don't understand tenants' rights. They really don't know. It actually is her house, though, at least until you legally evict her, dude. That's literally actually how that works, though. I will clean, had me dead. So these people, it's actually surviving the gender swap test on this one. Like, people are finding it just as funny when men do it. It's not surviving the gender swap test on my end, though. I'm literally crashing out and really mad. We got another one. We got some, this time it actually has a little bit more of like, there's like a little bit something different about this outfit. The last girl was kind of like scantily clad in that she was wearing like a yoga top and leggings, but it was like believable because a lot of people would show up to clean in that, honestly. This one though, she's wearing more clothes, but yet somehow it's almost worse. Does that make sense? Those of you who are watching the screen, just because like, is she wearing heels? It looks like she's wearing some kind of like booties almost. She's got like this cute little apron, but her hair is like totally done. Like it's got the curls. She looks like she's got the curls, the extension, like the hair is done. Okay, so AI cleaning lady prank on my girlfriend. Hey, did you book a cleaner? She just turned up. Cleaners or wife says, I didn't book anyone. Is she from Cleaning Network? He sends another picture of her. Yes, she's wearing heels. It is like full on like kitten heels, like stiletto, like pinpoint heels, dusting in the living room. Also, by the way, like are these really pictures of these people's houses? Cause the whole thing looks fake. Like, you're telling me that just average people have these like massive windows like this? These seem like really nice homes that are actually already clean. So weird. She said she's scheduled for a clean today, so I've let her in. Jack, I didn't book a cleaner. Who is she? Tell her not today. Answer the phone. Oh, he did the same move. You unsent a message. Oh wow, now she's on her knees scrubbing. No, she's dusting. She's sweeping up on her knees. She's doing a good job. You've not cleaned in weeks. You know how like there's a version of trigger warning unaliving called death by cop, where a person who is so eager to not be alive will attempt to become terminated by antagonizing police enough to believe that he is enough of a threat to just take him out that way. Like, you may have heard of this method, death by cop. I feel like that's very similar to what is happening right now, but he's like trying, like a death by spousal homicide is what he's like going for right now. Like I'm really not trying to victim blame if he does get murdered by his spouse, but at the same time, like if I'm the judge in the courtroom and you're telling me like, yes, the wife came home and, you know, took out her husband, I'm like, okay, well, clearly we have to send her to jail, but then it's presented in court that like, he did all of this, I'm kind of going to be like, we got to drop it to second degree, boys. It's not first degree. It's definitely not first degree. I'm not victim blaming. He still wouldn't deserve to die, but it's not first degree at that point. You definitely helped send her there. Corey says, I've been married for 19 years. We've been married long enough to where most shit is whatever. Never do this to someone you love. My wife would delete me. Okay, see, I'm glad I'm not the only one making jokes about spousal homicides here, because, dude, you're pushing your toe in the line, dude. You like the you've not cleaned in weeks. Even if you just said that out of the blue, without any of this other context, you'd be looking to sleep on the couch. But with this context, Jack, you're a dead man. She says, I don't like this, Jack. This doesn't feel right. Tell her to leave. All caps. He scrolls down, and now she's cleaning the dishes. I'm not going to ask her to stop. She's almost done. Ask her to leave now. Jack, answer the phone, Jack. Excuse me. Oh my god, now she's like in a robe? And she's like wiping down the dressers? What? Why is she wearing my dressing gown? Jack, hello? She spilled water on her clothes. I said you wouldn't mind. I do mind. Don't let her touch my stuff. Please call me. She wants me to play a game with her. This one definitely seems fake. This one definitely, like, doesn't even seem real anymore. Like, not even just because it's AI, but, like, this entire interaction by this point. Because, like, you're telling me all of the rooms look like this, and yet he's gonna, like, even try to play the you haven't cleaned in weeks card. It looks like the house hasn't been lived in weeks. Get her off my bed. I'm on my way. Couples Vault is our game? Okay, oh my god. So it sounds like this guy has actually, like, upped the ante significantly. This guy is playing the game in such a more diabolical way than I've ever seen anyone play it yet, because with the last trend, all of the girls were kind of following, like, the same script. Is you go, oh, he's here to clean and he's, like, conventionally attractive to start. Then he takes his shirt off. Then he asks if he could, like, test out the mattress. But, like, this guy has almost personally tailored the insecurity attacks to her. Like, he plugged into the AI, now make her wear my wife's dressing gown. Now make her playing the game my wife and I play to increase our intimacy. Like, he's really upping the ante on this to, like, hurt her. He's, like, really trying to f with her right now. Answer the phone now, and then it's over. Oh no. Oh no! It's getting mean, y'all. Now, but this one might take the cake as far as the initial start goes. Pranking my girlfriend with the AI cleaning lady gone wrong. And this lady, she's not just showing up in the kitten heels, y'all. She is in the full-on, like, Spirit Halloween adult section. Like, your adult novelty store ass maid outfit. It's buttoned all the way down her cleavage. We've got half tit out here. Okay. It starts with, guess what? What? This cleaning lady said after she's done with the neighbor's room, she will come clean mine for free. You live in a dorm. There are no cleaning ladies. Yes, look. He sends the picture. Oh, hell no. You better lock your door, I swear. If I see your room is clean, I'm not playing, boy. Hold on. It escalates quickly. Can I slow this down? He says, what? It's free and my room needs it. To which she immediately replies, almost too immediately. Okay, your homeboy is coming to clean my room, but don't worry, he said he won't charge me. Oh no, this, like, reminds me of all of the other, like, insecurity relationship test pranks that we've covered in the past. Is like, what if you test too close to the sun and you end up, like, actually getting played? right? Like, because TJ's talked about this when I don't remember what test it was, but it was some kind of test along the lines of, I believe it was the texting my husband that some guy is flirting with me in a hot tub or something. No, it was worse. It was the test where the girls put put their location to like be at their ex's house or something in the middle of the fight to like make their boyfriend jealous. And I'm like, why would your way of getting back at them be to make them think you're cheating on them? Like you're just playing yourself at that point. And I remember TJ saying something like, dude, if someone did this to me and they were trying to make me think that they were cheating on me, then I would also go out and like just start messing around, because clearly like if they're opening up our relationship, then it's open, like then I'm not being monogamous anymore. Like I don't care if she lied, I don't care if she's just faking being at her ex's house. If that's what you want me to think, that's what I'm gonna think, you know. And it's like, I don't know, man. This guy literally played too close to the sun. He said, yeah, I'm gonna let this girl in a scantily clad outfit clean my room. And so she said, okay, then your homeboy's gonna clean mine. What's the problem? Damn. All right, we need the gavel. I need a judge advocate decision from the chat on this one. Judge advocate needs a jury decision from y'all. Okay, we're in the courthouse. Is she wrong for her reaction? Was she wrong to say that? Do you think? Yes, she is wrong. She pulled up the homeboy card way too quickly. That was far too expeditious. How dare you? Do you think she is not in the wrong? He was trying to piss her off. He was trying to mess with her. That's what he gets. Or are you more nuanced? You're kind of like, they're both assholes. They're both immature. You gotta tell me. I need a decision, jury. No, not the a-hole. Not wrong. Okay. Phil says not wrong. Dylan said, if my wife pranked me with cheating, I'd probably get her back by crying in bed with a tub of ice cream. I'll show her. Get him, Dylan. Not wrong. She's good. She's right. What? But everybody said that the Dadvocate never ever takes women's side and always and exclusively takes men's side. That's what they say about the Dadvocate channel, okay? What are you guys doing? You're going off script. We are supposed to be hating women right now. No, you're right, guys. Good job. I agree. She's not wrong. That was funny. Because it's not like she, was actually going to do it. She was being valid, I think. Man, but this prank sucks, dude. I'm truly not on anyone's side who partakes in this. Not a single one. I hate it all. It's so emotionally manipulative. I'm upset that I haven't seen like a full redemption arc though. Like I want to see someone fully get dumped, honestly. Hunt Ghost, so good to see you, says putting the same situation to them to get someone to understand the upset is fine. Yeah, it's kind of one of those like, how would you feel if it was done to you type questions, which I feel like is pretty fair. It's kind of sad how many people cannot understand how harmful their actions are until you put them in those shoes, but sadly, that is how some people have to learn. Okay. So, I just wanted to cover that, because as it turns out, the AI repairman or AI house cleaner trend has pretty much the same effect. I think that the male AI repairman trend has a few additional dynamics to it, insofar as men actually do have a lot more of a realistic fear that something could happen to their female partner while alone with a strange man, whereas most women are just pissed that their boyfriend is not setting proper boundaries with a woman. Most of them aren't really afraid for his safety, but both are very harmful. I don't like that in both of these situations, you're making a man leave work, you're making a woman leave school, you're stressing them out, you're making them question themselves, you're making them feel like, oh, am I being a good enough partner? Do I need to do more? Like, you're really imposing so much grief. It's truly abusive. It is I'm just gonna say it, it's an abusive prank. And I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. there are a lot of these trends where I won't use that full-on word. I do think it may be a bit too far to use that word. I'm like, that was a bit mean, that was a bit petty, that was a bit catty, perhaps. But this trend, I do honestly believe in my heart of hearts to be full on abusive. And I feel like at this point, just tacking on the additional qualifier of emotionally abusive isn't even necessary, because at this point, calling it, oh, it's emotionally abusive, at this point almost feels like it's minimizing the abuse. Like a lot of times when people are being fully abusive, they try to escape to just like, well, it's just emotional abuse, because people try to hide behind that as like, well, at least he's not hitting her, at least she's not beating him. It's still extremely damaging. As someone who's experienced both, as someone who has both been beaten and knifed by a former abusive partner, and someone who went on to date someone else who never laid a finger on me but would cheat on me and gaslight me about it and lie to me about it and convince me I was crazy, I'd rather get stabbed. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. Like, honestly, nothing in comparison. And he picked a great place to stab too. This area of the back, not a lot of like tissues or like nerves and stuff. So it's actually like some people have gotten stabbed in the same place I did and never even felt it. I've heard stories about. So would rather take another fillet knife to the back shoulder area than deal with this shit, quite frankly. That's just my opinion. I can't speak for everybody, but just from my experience, emotional abuse can oftentimes be far worse than physical. Seriously, dude. It's awful. I hate it. If you see it, call it out, especially if it's someone like you know in real life. Like, I would honestly broach a gentle conversation about it and be like, hey, I know you think this is funny. Maybe you should watch the Dad Advocate's video on this, though, because she makes a lot of good points. That sounded like so... Talking about myself in third person like that sounded so gross. I'm so sorry, but, like, I also do think I make a lot of good points on this. It needs to be called out. I really don't like this kind of stuff being normalized as just, like, a normal, silly, cute, quirky thing we do to each other in relationships. It's fucked. It's really fucked. It's not cute. Don't do this to people you love. Cheshire Coin 96, thank you for the 5, says, if these types of tests are bad in your opinion, would you also think rage baiting your spouse is under the same category? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, don't rage bait. This is rage baiting your spouse. It is. You are rage baiting your spouse. That's all it is, for sure. Thank you, Levi. Corey says, pranking your SO is dumb. Surprised we haven't seen pranks involving allergies yet. LOL, my girlfriend is allergic to peanuts. Let's feed her peanut butter. Oh god. I'm sure it has happened, actually. That's sad. Hypomanic says, what if men use the shirtless plumber and the woman use the AI maids? I don't know about you, but I think that might be interesting. I think that would be really funny. That would be like just a very hilarious prank to play on someone just because it's like pretty harmless, but like I guess it wouldn't have much of a point. Like, I could do that right now if TJ didn't know about the prank and be like, hey, did you hire a scantily clad maid service for me? Like, I think he would just find that so funny. I think it would be a funny prank for a husband to actually hire that to hit, like, for his wife and then have her, like, hit on the wife the entire time would be funny, too. I think that would be, like, a fun, cute prank. But probably wouldn't get as many views. Wow, the Frost Spirit, thank you for gifting memberships. With your memberships, you will have access to all ad-free members-only lives. We don't have one this week, but we're going to have one next week. You're going to have access to all early access videos before anyone else sees them. There's actually nothing in the vault right now, but I'm going to change that soon. Don't worry. And then you can also use emotes now. So you have the Moji emote, the Miles emote, the new Prince Unicorn emote. Welcome to the club. Thank you, Frost. All right, I need another sip of water before we get into Katie Porter. Yeah. In conclusion, that prank, it's just abuse, sugar-coated, gilded as a prank. But it's full-on abuse, straight up. Yes. Okay. On to the next one. Does anybody know who Katie Porter is? California gubernatorial candidate. And if you don't know what gubernatorial means, it's just another silly word that means you are a candidate to run for governor, specifically. But, California governor, that's a really big position. No? I think that most of us would not. Thank you, Nomad. I don't think most of us would look at a position like California governor and go, well, that's not, I mean, that position can't really do anything. It doesn't hold that much power. I don't think any of us would look at a position like that and go, I mean, it's pretty much just a county commissioner, right? No, not at all. The governor of California is a pretty significant position. I think we can all agree on, especially California, a state that needs so much help. A state that really needs to be incredibly discerning with who they elect to lead. The person that is involved here needs to be well picked, well primed, and not have a disgusting history of abuse. And so it might drive some concern to find out, maybe that might be the case here. Now, you know, here on The Dadvocate, we don't really talk about politics. I really do try to keep this a place where we can come together on either nonpartisan or bipartisan issues. A place where we can really meet in the middle, find areas that we should be able to agree on, right? So it's pretty standard. I think we all know that whenever there are big elections coming up, it's pretty par for the course for your opposition to sling as much mud at you as they possibly can. This is when as much dirt that can be dredged up is coming out. The skeletons are being brought out of the closet. And a lot of times these kinds of things are nothing burgers. Like, I remember when they would like try to criticize AOC for one time she got like a $300 haircut. And I was like, surely you guys can find more on this person. Like, this is all we're gonna do, you know, or a time that someone like returned a dog after 2 weeks because it wasn't a good fit. Like, a lot of times the dirt that they're digging up on these candidates, it's a stretch. We're doing some mental gymnastics to make people hate you here. Other times, things surface about a candidate that should broach the political line. It should no longer matter if you are a registered Democrat, Republican, Green Party, Libertarian. We should all be able to agree that's effed. I don't want you as my governor, no matter what your party policies are. I think that there are some things that just kind of supersede political limits. And so today we are going to talk about the California government potential candidate, Katie Porter. Actively still running, could potentially be the governor of California, and how legal documents have come out showing that apparently she threw scalding hot mashed potatoes at her ex-husband's face. We're going to read this article from the New York Post. Love them or hate them. I have verified this information with some other reporting places as well. But this reads, Katie Porter verbally abused then-husband an explicit tirade. Effing idiot and too effing dumb to operate a phone, court docs say. This is where this obviously comes to my side of the internet. I don't typically cover political gaffes or controversies, but I'm the dadvocate. I advocate for fathers. I shine spotlights on these situations to bring awareness to the fact that even if it's not the majority, women can be the abusers in relationships. Women can hold power over their male spouses. It's not always the case that just because you're a woman, you are automatically the weaker sex and you automatically can do no wrong or hold power over your spouse. This is why I cover these kinds of things, and we'll look a little bit deeper into this. I hate it when they use, like, a dad pun for something heinous. This fight sure got heated. California gubernatorial contender Katie Porter once dumped scalding mashed potatoes on her then husband's head during a fight. Resurfaced documents in the divorce allege as clips of her fiery temper continued to go viral. We'll go for that one. This is interesting too because this is an article that's essentially using her past from her divorce to prove and add credibility to the claims against her now. I personally would like to do it in the reverse. I think that we can use today's viral clips that we will go over of her being abusive to other people to kind of lend credence to these allegations from her former divorce, because this is pretty bad. Hold up real quick. Corey says, thank you for the 10, by the way. I generally dislike politicians as a principle. I can think of two that I trust. Thomas Massie and Ro Khanna. That is sad that out of 500 plus federal politicians, that I can only trust two of them. We need a fix. I'm with you, Corey. I'm with you. Yeah, it is really tough. I'm skeptical of pretty much everyone now, but there are a couple. The former Golden State Congresswoman's ex-husband, Matthew Hoffman, filed for divorce in 2013 and detailed that the Democrat, who has a reputation for exploding on her staff, frequently abused him verbally and threw toys, books, and other objects at him during their marriage. That's not like... It's like when you hear someone drop the N-bomb. That's not their first time dropping the N-bomb. One does not just like casually throw out a word like that. They regularly do it. And if you've ever seen someone throw an item at someone else, that is not their first time doing it, and it will not be their last. Ordinary people do not just hurl shit at their spouse. I've never once thrown something at TJ besides tossing him the car keys. I would never hurl something at my spouse, but with regularity, just like constantly having so little self-control that you cannot stop yourself from picking things up and hurling them at someone is a totally different level of unhinged and abusive. And like, there are certain things that people say you shouldn't correlate. Some people would still keep someone hired at a business even if they cheated on their wife because they think that the two don't matter. Many people do not believe that cheating on your wife should play any role in whether or not you get custody of your children, for example. But whether or not you hurl objects at your spouse should definitely play a role in whether or not you are fit to be a governor. Probably fit for like most jobs. You can't stop yourself from throwing things at your spouse. What can you control? Probably nothing. Oh my God. So here you can get like a nice little image of what Katie Porter looks like. I think this clip kind of tells you all you need to know. We are going to watch this one, by the way. We've got that one pulled up, this interview where we get to see a little bit of Katie's character. It also says a lot that her ex-husband filed for divorce. We know that women file 80% of the time. That makes him one of the 20% of men who files for divorce. It's kind of like when you hear about a man getting full and complete sole legal and physical custody. At that point, you pretty much know the woman either effed up or he like completely outclasses her financially and there was no way she could afford to keep up. It's truly one of those two situations. And considering like only 1% of men have a grand amount of wealth anyway, it's probably that she effed up. It's more likely. I'm not going to say, like, of course I'm going to tell you, yeah, if you have money, you're probably going to win in family court. Like, a lot of times that's all that matters. But considering most of us are not loaded, it's probably that you effed up in this situation. Hoffman also filed for a restraining order from his rage-prone spouse, claiming she would routinely call him an effing idiot and effing incompetent and shattered a glass coffee pot in their kitchen counter in March 2012 when she felt their house wasn't clean enough. Dude, absolute power corrupts absolutely, truly. I've been joking for a while about this, but I don't fully think I'm wrong that when women get the same like type of control that very, very powerful men get, they seldom act incredibly differently. They really don't. There was a comedian, Whitney Cummings, actually. She talked about what it's like dating now that she is an incredibly wealthy woman. And her first issue is that she doesn't get to meet a lot of men who make more than her. Most of the men that she's attracted to make a lot less than her. And this is a problem that women don't like to talk about as far as the whole like brave new world we're in of like us starting to make a shit ton of money, is how difficult it is to find men in your class because they get harder and harder to find. So first of all, she talks about how she has to kind of like date down financially in that way. But at first she was enjoying it, but then she found herself like coming home to these men who were just kind of sitting around at the house all day, and like she would find herself nitpicking, and she'd be like, what the hell? Like, I've been gone all day making money. You've been home doing shit. Why is the house not clean? You really didn't have time to cook for me? And she's joking about it. But things are really only funny if there's an element of truth. It's funny because it's true, right? Like, when women get power, many of them do, like, become their version of misogynistic. Like they start getting the powerful man in the 50s who had like a double life with a second family type vibes. You know, like they really will start acting the same. And people don't like to talk about that because we all like to believe this like false reality that like women are just naturally so much more empathetic and kind and would never be corrupted like that. But I don't know, like when given access to power, we clearly show that we're able to do it. She would not let me have a cell phone because she said, you're too fucking dumb to operate it, Hoffman said of Porter, 51, who has been in the hot seat this week as videos captured of her going scorched earth and berating her former staff members made headlines. When she gets angry, she will claw and scratch her arms and then say to me, look what you made me do. Oh, so she's fucking crazy. So she's actually the most dangerous kind of woman. Oh my God, like if Amber Heard had a mentor, like this woman, like Amber Heard walked so Katie Porter could fly. Katie Porter looks like makes Amber Heard look like wifey material at this point. What, dude? Like, you're having hurled at you constantly. You can't have a phone? What in the Andrew Tate is going on here? Like, you remember those were the allegations that had Andrew Tate literally arrested in Romania because the allegation was that he had women employed under him working in a basement where they were not allowed contact to the outside world. Like, the allegation and claim was that he wasn't allowing them to have cell phones, that he had complete control of their phones, and he would take them away and only give them back when they were done with work. He got accused of trafficking for that. Katie Porter does it, and she gets to be our governor? What? Huh? I'm not understanding what is going on right now. Oh my God, wait. And that got worse too. So before we even get into it, not only is she causing physical harm to him, but she's putting herself in a position where she's harming herself and blaming him. This woman is every man's worst nightmare. Oh my God. I know that we talk a lot about how like too many women are on SSRIs, but like here's one that needs to be on one, I would think. There needs to be some kind of medication involved. She regularly says that I am a bad parent in front of the kids. Recently, the children began spitting at me and throwing their food at me, calling me bad daddy. This is a fully blind react, guys. I did not even realize how deeply Dadvocate coded this was going to be, or how badly triggered this was going to make me. This is, if I made a bingo card of like all of the worst kinds of baby mama qualities you could possibly have or be cursed with, it'd be a full royal flush from every angle. The card would be completely full. Probably every iteration of every card you could get would be full. She literally crosses off every single checkbox of a monster baby mama. She verbally abuses you, she physically abuses you, she alienates you from your own children, she triangulates you. I could actually cry that he got out. Because can you imagine how many times he tried? And like, the fact that like he did make it, he did escape, and he's probably like barely doing okay. Like, it wouldn't surprise me if she found a way to make him pay her child support. This guy probably got like absolutely dog walked in court because California is brutal about community property, but she still probably found a way to take it all. This is just getting the kids to spit on him. It is not very often in my life I've heard of something so horrifying. If she got any custody after that, I am going to be so upset, but she probably did. I mean, God, there are a lot of women who put down their spouses and their children's dad in front of the children. There's a ton. I've talked to you guys, all right? But encouraging them to spit on their dad? This is like a gender-swapped Handmaid's Tale, almost. Like, truly, this is disgusting oppression. And, like, people probably just didn't take this very seriously. I bet this guy probably got victim shamed so much. I bet you there were so many people who were like, bro, just stand up. Why don't you just buy your own cell phone? Why are you letting her doing this to you? God, you're like such a cuck, such a simp. Like, you just let her walk all over you. Just be a man. I'm sure he had to deal with that. This is bad, guys. This is really bad. Shiny says, insert Amber Heard joke here. This woman's crazy. Don't worry, I already did insert the Amber Heard jokes. I got you. Corey says, apropos to this topic, I can't vote for a woman I don't find attractive. It's like most people will vote for a taller male candidate over a shorter one. I would beg you to work through that. You're almost there. Like, you've recognized that it's a problem. Like, I'm kind of with you too, because I've had that in the past where, like, if I'm not educated enough on, like, two different politicians or whatever, like, a lot of people just vote for the one with the cooler name. But, like, yeah, I would definitely advise you not to vote for, like, who is or isn't attractive. We can't do that. We gotta be smarter. Because this is how the devil is. What do they say? The devil is a 6 foot tall blue-eyed man. There's different variations. The devil is a blonde-haired blue-eyed woman. Like, the devil's attractive. Okay? In this case, we seem to have a shallow hell situation, but she still needs to be stopped. Because looking like this has not done enough to protect us. Apparently. Like, she can literally look like a hag raven and still cause so much harm. Hoffman claimed that back in 2006, Porter blew up over how he was making mashed potatoes, snapping, "Can't you read the fucking instructions?" before she raised a ceramic bowl of steaming hot potatoes and dumped it on my head, burning my scalp, according to the court docs. The couple wed in 2003 and had 3 children before calling it quits on their stormy marriage. In her first congressional run in 2018, Porter cast herself as a victim of domestic violence and frequently highlighted her role as a single mom. I don't have a shady background, she told HuffPost in 2018. I'm seething. I'm literally about to crash out, you guys. Oh, I'm the most boring person in America. I'm a mom of 3 kids. I protected my family. I ended a marriage that was troubled. So Katie Porter is not the new Amber Heard. Katie Porter has been Amber Hearding for decades. Under the radar, sight unseen, almost because she's not hot. And I'm sorry, I know I don't like to body shame on this channel. That's a personal subjective opinion. So to be intellectually consistent, that is just my personal subjective opinion. To many other people, Katie Porter could easily be perceived as hot. I truly do believe that many people could potentially find her attractive. I don't. And I would go so far as to say that I think we can all agree that she does not contain the same conventionally attractive appearance pointers as Amber Heard. And that's as mean as I'll choose to get about that for now, because trust me, Katie Porter has given me far, far more than her physical appearance to hang her with at this point. So I don't even need to waste my time on what she's got going on from an exterior point of view, because apparently God chose to fucking microwave her, where it's actually the inside of her that got cooked the most before absolutely crisping her like a burnt chicken nugget on the outside is what we were chosen to give. God decided that we needed more of a challenge on this planet. He decided to test his strongest soldiers with his toughest gubernatorial battles. Apparently, truly, she is like the absolute narc queen, deployed every single narcissistic tool. She beat the shit out of her husband, made her kids spit on him, called him names, probably would have cheated on him if she could pull, and then has the freaking audacity to come out and say that she was the victim. That she experienced the DV, and that she had the strength to leave it. Divorce records are public, lady. We can see who filed. I'm sure she would just claim like, oh, well, like a classic abuser, he had to beat me to the punch so he could have control of the narrative. I'm speechless. I'm literally so upset that I'm speechless. Final boss is a good term for it, yes. Let me catch up on some of your super chats. Shadow God, thank you for the 20, says, I can't vote for most of these candidates because I've seen who they have been supporting, and some of the policies they have allowed that are so repulsive. Also the things they've been allowing to happen to children. Yeah, it's really hard to respect anybody who's not like adamantly pro releasing the Epstein list. Shiny Luna says, I've noticed a disturbing trend of the more attractive candidates getting votes over good ones, so pretty handsome idiots in charge. God's help us all. Yeah, that's exactly why I was like, oh, don't do that. Shadow God says, also the devil lives in California. Yeah, I would believe that too. Hypomanic, thank you for another one, says my ex, even 1/20th as bad as Porter is. Holy crow. Right, dude? Like, Katie Porter is literally making the guy who stabbed me look like a good dude. Like, you know what? He's alright. He's not as bad as he could have been, clearly. Oh my god. Corey says, in regards to my last super chat, you are correct. The attractiveness of candidates is subliminal, and I'm sure the political advisors are aware of this. Yeah. No, you're aware of it. You know you're gonna stop. You didn't even need me to tell you that. Let's finish this article and then we'll watch these clips. Oh god, I can't believe there's more for me to crash out about. If I can at least, like, I'm about to single-handedly influence this vote though, because if any of y'all go voting for Katie Porter after this, I will haunt you. I don't know how, but I will come into your dreams and make you have wet dreams about the most weird people in your life. That's what I'll do. I will learn black magic to make it happen. The testy lawmaker, now vying to replace term-limited Democratic Governor Gavin Newsom in the November 3rd election, faced a wave of backlash this week after resurfaced footage has exposed her furious outbursts and nasty remarks. The firestorm erupted Monday when a tense on-air clash between Porter and CBS reporter Julie Watts went viral, with the former rep bizarrely accusing the journalist of being unnecessarily argumentative when asked about the difficulty of scoring votes from Trump supporters. So let's watch this. I want to do a cursory scan. You can kind of see. Let's watch it, okay? Wait, which is the one? Oh, hold on. Let me pull up the Julie one. That's a different one. I think it's in my search history. I want to watch this one with you. Why is it not pulling up? Okay. CBS, Katie Porter. Is this the one? Okay. I'll probably get demonetized for covering these news channels, but that's okay. I don't mind.
A top contender to become California's next governor now facing calls to drop out of the race after an interview with CBS News California. It came when former Representative Katie Porter sat down with investigative correspondent Julie Watts to discuss a number of topics, including Prop 50, the redistricting ballot measure.
Hold on, let me see if I can get the actual clip. I don't want people covering it. So it's... Oops. Sorry, guys. Give me just a second to get my life together. I did have it up. That's why I'm like, why? And then, who was she interviewing again? I already forgot. Julie Watts.
What do you say to the 40?
Okay. Shadow God, thank you for another one. For the record, I didn't vote for him, but that was a fair response, and I wish he would release it too. That's not what I was talking about, though. Oh, no, yeah, no, sorry, I wasn't talking about anyone specific. There's a large, like, left and right amount of politicians who are against releasing the Epstein list, which I think should tell everybody something, okay? At least clear up maybe some of the confusion on why I don't just blindly pick sides, right? Okay, here we go. Hopefully this has the full one.
What do you say to the 40% of California voters who you'll need in order to win, who voted for Trump?
How would I need them in order to win, ma'am?
Well, unless you think you're going to get...
This one made me freaking die. Again, I'm not very political very often, but I need to stress again. This is a woman who is running to be a California governor. Okay, so she has to understand politics. Listen to her reaction to the question. The question and her reaction. This is so stupid.
What do you say to the 40% of California voters who you'll need in order to win, who voted for Trump?
How would I need them in order to win, ma'am?
Well, unless you think you're going to get...
Are you guys seeing this? Audio only crew, I will verbally describe to you what is going on. I'm sure in the tone of Katie's response, you can hear that she's incredulous, but she also does an almost Jim Halpert-esque pan to camera of incredulity afterward. She literally thinks that the CBS interviewer is the stupid one for asking, how are you going to get the 40% of Californians who voted for Trump to vote for you, a Democratic candidate? I don't think that's a stupid question at all. Does anybody else think that's a stupid question? Of all the stupid questions I have heard politicians asked, I mean, you'll hear a politician take so much time out of their busy schedule to sit down and get asked stupid questions like, what are you and your husband doing for your anniversary? Like, what are you asking me right now? But like, what a solid and fair question. And yet Katie responds back with another question of like, why would I need 40% of the population to win? Is this the girl math that people are talking about? Like, is this what they mean when they talk about girl math? Because I'm assuming that in her brain, what she's thinking is, well, if I've secured 60% of the vote, hypothetically, why would I need 40% of the vote? But we all know, like, people who are actually pragmatic, who live in the real world, who don't just go off of, like, ideology, who don't look at the numbers and go, 40% of Californians are Republican. That means that I will earn 60% of Democratic votes. Like, most of us don't look at those numbers and have those thoughts because we understand that there are so many different things that play into that. Like, there's other Democratic candidates, for example. It's like, even if you're only worried about winning over other Democrats and you're just trusting the fact that you're a blue state, so you're assuming that as a Democrat you're more likely to be out a Republican. I mean, maybe, sure, but like, what if the Democrats will abstain instead of voting for you? What if you now are reliant on Trump voters? Because listen, that's what like, I'm telling you right now, all of the stuff that's coming out is going to isolate Democrats. If the Republicans already didn't like you, they're certainly not going to vote for you now. But like, it can happen sometimes where there are not enough good Republican candidates somewhere, so the Republicans will look at Democrats as the better option. That's how a lot of us are starting to vote. Many of us, we may lean a certain way, but if we hate the candidates we're presented, we're going to look across the aisle and see what we have to choose from there. Like, I think one of the best examples of this, where America got really torn up presidentially, was like probably Obama McCain was like one really great example of when a lot of Republicans voted blue and when a lot of Democrats voted right, because they actually preferred each other's candidates. It can happen. It's happening a lot less now in these divided times. But this was a lot of words for me to say, yeah, Katie, of course that's a valid question. Why are you acting so stupid about it? Hold on, did I miss a couple oh, yeah. Let me answer these super chats really quick. Gotta make sure. Okay. Corey says, I believe the Epstein evidence was destroyed the day it was collected. I'm still being optimistic, but I think you're right. Not because politicians were on the list, because donors of both sides were on the list. No list exists to be released anymore. I don't know, though. I also do believe, I believe that they probably think they destroyed it. But I also believe that there are probably whistleblowers, like Snowdens out there in the world, who are like, as soon as I can secure my, like, secret life change passage out of here, I'm dropping this list and going. Like, as soon as I can find someone to sell this to who will pay for me to get facial reconstruction surgery to look completely different and never be seen again, I'm dropping it. Anyway, that's the end of my conspiracy on that for now. Shadow God also says, I don't blindly pick sides, I just really dislike one party a lot right now. As much as I'm not a Republican, I'm more against the Democrats currently. Fair, it's interesting, yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of him, but I did actually take a peek at Steven Crowder's new Change My Mind series, though I don't know if it's changed my mind anymore, but he's coming back to colleges. And I did notice one of the prompts was that he believes that the left is more violent now. And he was getting a lot of people to agree that they also do believe that there's more violence coming from the left. So whether or not that's what you believe, if you have statistics to debate otherwise, like, by all means, like, present them. I'm actually not super knowledgeable in that field to say concretely and for sure which is which, especially because a lot of crimes that are committed probably would fall under a political violence umbrella, but just are not. They just weren't by the way that they were prosecuted. So it's kind of like if you use certain qualifiers, they could fall under that umbrella. But if you're only going by what the like courts referred to it as, then probably a lot of those definitionally drop off. But yeah, I think a lot of people are feeling that way. Colonel Arnold says, us independents just straight up ignored like we're chopped liver. We're not ignored, we're very hated. People do not like that even when we're on their side, that we're not on their side enough. Shadow God says, well, the victims did talk about making their own list. I'm waiting for that to be released. I hope that no interference gets in with that. That's what I'm saying. Like, people are scared. It gives me hope the fact that there seems to still be fear that it could come out. Corey Anderson says political parties should be outlawed. That's a hot take. I don't even have the brain power to start imagining a world or like how that could even happen. So sometimes people bring up stuff that's like so idealistic that I'm like, okay, we're going into sci-fi now. So I'm just a very pragmatic person. So it gets tough for me to entertain certain conversations where it's like, okay, but that's so far away from reality now. Okay, let's get back into this. We only got the first question and I already crashed out super hard. I hate Katie Porter.
60% of the vote. So you don't think...
I feel like this is unnecessarily argumentative. What is your question?
Well, to those voters. Okay, so you...
I don't want to keep doing this. I'm going to call it. Okay. Thank you.
You're not going to do the interview with us?
Nope, not like this. I'm not. Not with 7 follow-ups to every single question you ask.
A California gubernatorial hopeful snapped at a CBS News reporter and tried to storm out of an inn early with flipping out and vote.
Are they going to show the full thing?
Porter seethed at...
Okay, I guess they're not going to show us the full clip, and who knows? Like I said, I might not even have the licensing to show it anyway. But from the interview that I watched, she continues to press Katie, the interviewer does, whose name I've already forgotten. I'm so sorry. But she goes like, well, every other candidate answered all of these questions. And Katie's just like, I don't care. I don't care. It's not going to be me. No. Like, she gets so, like, she can't even handle a question like that. That was such a low ball to me. The question was essentially, how do you plan to appeal to Republican voters? And you should... Any person running for any political position at all needs to have an answer to that. Because what do you mean you want to lead me, but you don't have any care in the world to appeal to me? By the way, when I say me, that's not me saying I'm Republican. That's the universal me, if that makes sense. Because it doesn't even matter which party it's referring to. If this was to be a Republican gubernatorial candidate, for example, and they were to say something as ignorant of as, well, I don't need to appeal to the Democrats because I'm trying to appeal to Republican voters. Like, you would also look stupid. Because even if those people didn't vote for you, you still have to represent their interests. That's your duty. That is what you need to do. And now a lot of you are like, Lauren, do you really think that politicians care about representing our interests? Idealistically, I know that they don't in theory, but you could at least pretend better, couldn't you? Like, you could at least talk to someone on your staff to media train you for a very basic question to pretend that you care about appealing to the other party. Or if you're going to insist that you don't need to appeal to the other party, then aggressively stand 10 toes down on it. Then have a proper media trained answer for why you don't need to in order to, like, try to doubly appeal to your own party anyway. Don't just rage quit. Don't just storm off and say, you're admitting defeat. You're admitting that you are too ill-equipped to answer a basic question and definitely too ill-equipped to govern one of the largest states in our country. Are you kidding me? You can't even answer a basic question like that? You will not be able to handle this position. There is no way she can handle it. Hold on, I did miss a super chat. I thought. Yeah, I did. Shadow God says, George Washington did warn about them. I'd rather have people talk issues than make it about parties. I'm conservative, but agree with some liberal stuff. I think most people probably have a lot of bipartisan opinions, or at least more than they think that they do. It's just a lot of people will get caught up in being, like, very black and white. So that's, like, these are just 2 of the 3 big things coming out about Miss Katie Porter right now that we gotta talk about before November, right? Like, when I tell my editor to clip this down and put out some videos for us, I'm gonna tell him to prioritize this one, because I think that voters deserve to be educated. I think 1% of my audience is from California, because I know I have a lot of Californians and a lot of New York audience. So if you're in California, y'all need to know this. And if you're not in California, we need to make fun of Katie Porter. It's not even just like making fun of her. It's like, if you're not in California, you should still know about this, because we need to raise awareness to the fact that women are doing this. And what's worse is they're getting away with it. And we all need to put a stop to that. We can't just be so easy on women anymore, okay? They're fully capable. They know how to take accountability. We can't keep letting them not do it. So here's the other video that Katie Porter is also under fire for. This was a video that was taken during, I believe, some kind of like a Zoom meeting or Google Meets thing where she's being interviewed on something, and apparently just complete mid-interview forgets that this is being recorded, that people are watching her, that she's not like in her own brain and the quiet part is actually coming out in real time. But this was the result of that. California gubernatorial candidate Katie Porter berates staffer while recording an ad with then Energy Secretary Jennifer Granholm in a newly released video.
You ready for stat number 2?
I am.
All right. $632, which is how much you save in fuel and maintenance costs when you replace your traditional car with an EV, with an electric vehicle. So I lease a Chevy Bolt. It is the best car that I have ever owned. I just plug it into the garage, 3-hole prong plug, and I never have to go to the gas station.
That's awesome. And $632 is real money. And I know here at UCI, we have a National Fuel Center Research Center, and they're also doing work on how to make electric vehicles affordable, including for low and moderate income people, working moms, single moms like me, people who really could benefit from an extra $632 in their pocket. And it's also not just the individual savings, but it's also the total savings for our economy. So I'm on the oversight committee, you might know, and that is where we did a study recently this fall in September. And what it showed is if we don't electrify our transportation sector, that we're going to lose more than 500,000 Californians dying prematurely to air pollution and other problems. And the state could lose. Get out of my fucking shot.
I wanted to tell you that that's actually incorrect. It's not that it's electric vehicles. It's that if we don't make the commitments under the Paris Climate Accord. Okay,
it does. Okay, you also were in my shot before that. Stay out of my shot. Okay, I'm going to start again with electric vehicles saving us money.
Perfect.
And the state could lose.
Okay, also just lost some respect for Jennifer Granholm right there as well. I mean, like, maybe she was just in so much shock, but like, Jennifer Granholm listened to all of that. And then as soon as Katie was just like, so anyway, I'm going to start over, and Jennifer Granholm was just like, okay, like, it's probably not Jennifer Granholm's job to go, oof, Katie, that was a bit much. Maybe she did say something to her in private afterward. Who knows? I know that, you know, these political types, they have very limited time to get this stuff done, but like, we also have to acknowledge the fact that, like, how bad was whatever she said at the beginning that got bleeped out for so long, if immediately after that, like, 7 full seconds of pure bleep, she goes, get out of my fucking shot. Like, the fuck wasn't censored. But whatever heinous shit she said before that had to be censored. So what could have been worse than the F word? It had to be pretty bad.
Get Get out of my fucking shot.
I wanted to tell you that that's actually.
What an asshole.
And the fact that, like, she was just trying to help her. She was trying to correct what she was saying. She was trying to come in and say, like, wait, that's not what you want on record. You want this on record. And, like, Katie, instead of admitting, like, oh, you're right, I did want to say that and not this, she does the, like, childish thing of, like, any time someone overreacts, gets called out and proven that they were wrong, they go, yeah, well, you still shouldn't have done it that way. Like, they're scrambling now to find a way that they're still the victim. And you see her doing that. She's like, yeah, well, you were still in my shot earlier, so I was still right to do that. Like, you can't convince these people they're wrong about anything because they have trained their brain to have a defense at all time. They truly have a knee-jerk defense for everything. They can do no wrong. Literally, like, went off on that woman when she was helping her. And then as soon as she's like, I was just trying to, and she's like, yeah, well, you still did it wrong. So you deserved it. And that's in front of Jennifer Granholm, who I believe was like a former Michigan state representative or something. No, she was a former governor, wasn't she? God, I was young when she was. But now she's there. Oh my God, is that what is that what Jennifer Granholm looks like at 66? Okay, if I may, Jennifer Granholm is aging like fine wine. She's cute. Damn, like, not me thirsting over Jennifer Granholm right now, but like, girl, spill the secrets. She's cute, isn't she? Anyway, I got distracted. But she's a pretty well-known person, okay? Oh my God. I love me being like, girl, let's go, Jay Granholm. I'm for the people, okay? Don't ever say I'm not a girl's girl. Unless Jennifer Granholm never, ever, ever held Katie Porter accountable for anything, then I take it back. You have some work to do, okay? I'd let that granny bake me cookies. Oh my God. What do you guys think about this Katie Porter situation? I mean, do you think that in any way this has all been blown out of proportion by Katie Porter's opponents? Do you think that this was all just old slop being dredged up that isn't actually that relevant? Do you think that this happened so long ago? I mean, this was all stuff from like 2012, and if they can't find any more recent scandals, her doing any of this kinds of behavior more recently, then, you know, we should be able to just kind of sweep this under the rug. It's not a big deal. People make mistakes. They grow up. Or are you kind of on my side of just like, this is really not forgivable? I can't see past any of this. Everything that I've seen has cemented to me one of the worst, most villainous, most criminal, most impossible to deny will be a repeat offender abusers I've ever had the misfortune of having to learn about in my life. I think that there is a 0% chance that this person will ever stop being an abusive piece of shit. I feel like they have absolutely no capability of representing any of the best interests of anybody in California at all. And I think that that state will just sever itself from America in an attempt to just take Katie Porter with it at this point. But I don't know, maybe there's some kind of nuanced belief in the middle of all of this. Like, you do agree that what she did was horrible, that maybe she's not really fit for that position, and you can't blame anybody for not wanting to vote for her, but that she's not unforgivable. That God still has love in his heart for her, that we really have no place to judge her, only God can, and that there is still chance for her to redeem herself and apologize for it all. What do you guys think? You guys think she's got any chance, or do you think she's cooked at this point? You know, I have to admit, I have such little faith in Californians that it wouldn't surprise me if, like, no one does any research on their candidates and she wins. I don't know. Let's see what's going on, though, as far as, like, who has the most favor for California gubernatorial candidates right now. Because we're less than a month out. Okay. We love to see it. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to watch an ad. Katie Porter's chances of winning California governor elections suffer blow. Suffered a blow according to a new poll. Okay. According to a polling, while the Democrat is leading among other Democrats ahead of the upcoming primary for the election, she is behind a Republican candidate, conservative commentator Steve Hilton. Aren't people mad at Steve Hilton right now, too? Didn't AOC... Isn't he the one that AOC came for? He is! He is! Yeah. I don't know much about this guy, but I do know that he basically baited AOC in a way into making herself look terrible by getting her to body shame him. So yeah, Steve Hilton was, what was it? AOC made a video about him and said that she called him like 4'11" or something. She was like, he only acts like that because he's 4'11". First of all, I'm 4'11". Why you hating on us midgets? But but also, like, she was wrong. Like, he's not even 4'11". He's like 5'11". So that, like, she was off by like a foot, and 5'11" isn't even short. It's literally 1 inch away from like the necessary height that all women claim they need. And like a lot of AOC's own supporters got upset by that because they're like, why did you bring all the short kings down with you in this little tirade? I don't know who the best odds are for election right now, but I would just urge anybody in California to look elsewhere. I'm just like, if you aren't trying to vote Republican, that's great. But surely there is a better candidate than the evil monster who cosplays being a domestic violence victim while actually being a domestic violence abuser, got her children to spit on their father, got the children in on abusing this man, went on to abuse her future employees. Just surely we can do better, California. Surely we can. Surely we're not that down bad. We can't let this win. Ain't no way. Other Democratic gubernatorial candidates for California. Who do we all have? Oh man, I'm like looking around. Who's running for California governor? Katie Porter. We've got Stephen Klubeck. He looks like he might be Democratic leaning. Antonio Villaraigosa? Xavier Becerra, Tony Atkins. There's a lot of other candidates, it seems. Okay? I don't think we have to vote for Katie Porter. I don't think we're down that bad. But if anybody wants to tag me in anything, email me with any videos where anyone makes a solid case as to how Katie Porter could possibly be the best chance California has despite all of that, I'd be willing to hear it. But for now, I am not sold. We don't want it, chat. Hell to the nah. And also, go to jail. Like, also, why did you not suffer more repercussions? Also, I hope your kids go no contact. And then I think I'm done on Katie Porter. I think I'm good on that. All right. I'm starving, but I don't want to leave you guys. I got myself an Uncrustable. I'm gonna eat it real quick. I usually don't eat on screen because I have, what is it called? Misophonia, where like the sound of someone chewing, can't deal with it. Oh god, it's too annoying. I can't do it too, guys. I can't eat on screen. Nope, I'd rather starve. I'm getting misophonia just thinking about what you guys might be hearing. Nah, I can't eat. But we're not gonna go too late today. We're only gonna go till about 1:30 because I still have to go submit blood to the doctor before I pick up my daughter. So I gotta do that. Gotta go give them some blood for things. Make sure everything's working right. Check the battery. Good call. Let's check the battery before I get into the next one. We'll react to some other stuff. I have some funny things for you too. I think we've covered enough serious topics today to where I can show you guys some wholesome stuff. Still covered in mochi here. And yet, I'll still probably go and get him for when I leave. The mic didn't even pick anything up. Okay. That makes me feel a little bit better. Oop. There we go. All right. So that's been Katie Porter. We covered that. We covered the, oops. Close out of that. We covered the men's version. Okay. I got something wholesome for you guys. Okay. This one just made me laugh so much. All right, so before we watch this next one, here's a fun little Dadvocate lore piece. So I actually have an uncle with Down syndrome. So I am very, very familiar with Down syndrome individuals. This is something that I grew up with, and I love my uncle tremendously. I love, too, that there are a lot of creators now who are including their Down syndrome relatives in content. And I feel very lucky because most of what I've seen so far is not like abusive to them in any way. They are not made the brunt of the joke in any way. And so I don't appreciate anyone who would ever make fun of someone with Down syndrome just because they have Down syndrome. That said, as someone who's grown up with it, my dad will be the first to tell you, him and his 7 siblings will be the first to tell you, people with Down syndrome will put you in hilarious situations that are impossible to not laugh at. And it's not that you're laughing at them or the condition that they were born with. It's just, when you get a spicy little extra chromosome, sometimes decisions are made and we have to laugh about them together. So we are going to react to a video that a man has made with his brother who happens to have Down syndrome. And I promise you, it's wholesome. It's funny. We can laugh at it. Does your uncle like grilled cheese? Yeah, is that like a meme or something? I don't get it. Oh yeah, Arceon also says, while politics is important, I do think people need to focus on their own personal flaws before looking at others. Yeah, that's probably true. I mean, you know how many non-practicing in politics people I see all the time? Like, I get really frustrated by people who are more focused on ideology than reality. Like, people who are like, oh, these 1%ers are evil and the capitalism is destroying everybody and we need to rebel against it. That's why I won't work for any of these companies because the capitalists are evil. And it's like, okay, but your wife and children are starving because you're refusing to work. Like, those capitalists might be like everything that you hate, but at least they're feeding their families. So like, figure something out. I'm with you. There's a lot of people where it's like, you got to figure out your own life before you can waste all day complaining about how other people are not doing anything, you know? I'm kind of with you. Focus. Okay, grilled cheese is a joke from a comedian about Down syndrome. I don't get it, sorry. A Shane Gillis bit. To everyone who gets it, that one's for you. I'll just take the money. But yeah, I do like, there are some forms of hilarious Down syndrome humor. Like, for example, I knew one person who was friends with my uncle who had a shirt that said, I'm totally rocking this extra chromosome, or this extra chromosome looks so good on me. It's funny, like, it's just funny humor. You can't be mad at people for it. So, here's his brother. This is so funny. Oh wait, hold on. Is that my husband? Uh-oh, no one responded. I'm about to get robbed. Hello? Did my door just literally randomly... I'm literally about to die on camera right now, you guys. Okay, hello? Hi. I said hello, and then my husband didn't answer. And I was like, well, I guess I'm about to die on screen, chat. An assassin definitely just entered the house. Like, I figured I was safe because Miles wasn't barking.
Yeah, right. I'm the only one he doesn't bark at.
Yeah, I'm like, Miles would literally never.
He barks at all of the game night people.
Do you want to watch this really wholesome video we were about to watch? We got all the controversial shit out of the way. We were about to have a wholesome video. This one made me laugh so hard.
Remember a little while ago when you called the cops on Mom?
Well, she deserves it.
She deserves it?
Yep.
So my brother, stop. So my brother likes to blame everything on my mom. Even if she was across the world in Australia, it would somehow still be her fault if something went wrong. Is that right?
No.
Really?
Yeah, right, but no. I don't think so, buddy.
I don't think so,
One day,
buddy.
a little while ago, my brother was home alone and he was mad that my parents were out at dinner without him and I was at a friend's house. He decided that it would be a good idea to text 911.
I got a text from 9.
No, you didn't get a text. You texted.
Yeah.
Gaslight.
Yeah, I did.
Let's read these. Get my mom away. What's your address? What is your address? I need your address, please. He gives the address. I need you to get my mom away.
Oh my god.
Do you know any cross streets, another intersection? No, I'm not. I just so upset. My mom, give her arrested, please.
Oh no.
What is your mother doing? What's going on? I have them being dispatched, but I need further info. What is going on? I don't know, other sister. Other sister means officer. What do you say? That's okay. What is going on? What is your mother doing? I know. She's fine. I'm sorry. Do you not take me away, please? He doesn't want to get arrested. Oh no, this happened to me when I was 5 and called the police because I didn't want to be at the babysitter anymore.
That's hilarious.
Then are you coming out to check on you? Or they're coming out to check on you. Did your mother hit you? Officer, please, I'm sorry. My mom just started. Oh no.
Oh
no. No, she didn't hit me. She's fine. Are there any weapons in the home? No. Are you able to call or are you afraid? No, I didn't call you because I'm sorry. Please, officer. How old are you and what's your name? I am 17. I am Jacob Benner. Jacob, has your mom been drinking? Yes, officer.
And this is one of those things where, like, I'm chalking it up to, like, obviously the brother is on the spectrum, and he has
Down syndrome. It's not on the spectrum.
But I didn't know to what degree, but it was, like, obviously, like, there's that neurodivergent literalism that he's getting towards. Like, is your mom drinking? And in his head he's like, yes, she is out with my father. She is drinking, of course, officer. They're out for a date, of course they're drinking. Why are you wasting time? Time's of the essence, officer.
Yes, but why does that matter? Please don't come.
Yeah.
Meanwhile,
Please don't arrest me, officer. She's been drinking. Please don't arrest me. I'll let you know whatever you want to know.
By the way, Shadow God says, "Hey, Father Coconut."
Hello.
Supers. Oh, I did. Someone said it's a joke from Shane Gillis. Figured that out. What other super chats? What? No, I didn't miss any super chats. Oh, here we go. Women like Katie Porter are why people call for 19A to be repealed, jokingly or not. Normies want to see women leaders as nurturers, not giant BS. I mean, people who call for the 19th Amendment to be repealed are literally, they deserve the R-tard word way more than anyone with an extra chromosome, quite frankly. So I hope none of you guys actually hold that opinion. Like, even if you said it to me ironically, I'm going to lose respect for you.
The 19th Amendment, that's the latest.
Yes.
Yeah.
And every single, I'm going to go on a tirade if you bring that up, though.
Sorry, yeah.
I was trying to have a fun time. Yeah. Don't remind me that people who want 19A repealed exist in perpetuity as well.
Those people are.
And then, what is your opinion on the Victoria's Secret Down syndrome model? Fully support it. I personally don't mind, but is it sexualizing her abuse? Should society? The thing is, like, I don't think people realize, like, people with Down syndrome are allowed to.
Yeah.
You might not like it, but they're allowed to. Like, so far, there is no law that says that two people with Down syndrome can't have sex. Mm-hmm. So they can certainly consent. They can absolutely consent to modeling. Yes. And, like, they might need an extra caretaker to help them consent.
Right.
But, like, yeah, I think it might have even been covered on Love on the Spectrum. Didn't they have someone with, and I think that the parents talked about how they just do a really good job of providing sexual education to them.
Oh yeah, they
did cover.
It's very comprehensive.
Although I think they were just heavily autistic, not with Down syndrome. So
right, but I think aren't those kind of like cousins? Isn't that kind of like?
Are they allowed?
The odds of you being a bug type and also a poison type.
Yeah, okay, they're allowed. I had to double check now. I was like, wait, can they consent? Yes, they're allowed to consent. Absolutely, as long as they're of the age. It's a tough line though, because like my uncle with Down syndrome, he's in his 60s now, and he will forever have the brain of a little kid. He just forever will. And I mean, like, he's definitely like interested in dating. Like, every waitress is his girlfriend. He has a million girlfriends, but like, I don't even think he would know what to do. No. Honestly, it's not much of a threat, because most people with like Down syndrome, I don't think that they have like a super high. I can't say that actually. I've met some people with Down syndrome who are horny as fuck. So anyway, let's get back into it. Okay. I have police on the way. Officer, I'm sorry. Please don't come in my house. I can tell them you no longer want police, but they are still going to come out to make sure everything is okay. I'll let them know and I'll disconnect, okay? The 911 operator has ended your text session. Message 03.
That was going on while my parents were on their way home from the restaurant, and I got home right before my parents. So I saw the text and was like, oh shit, the cops are definitely showing up. Braced my parents. So when the cops did show up, we were all home. And when they came inside, Jacob ran to the other room, and then all you heard was, Brian did it, which is my dad's name. And he blamed the whole entire thing on my dad and was scared to talk to the cops.
They were laughing, all the cops there.
And my brother said, no more calls or texting. It's not emergency.
You don't text unless there's an emergency, correct?
That's right.
But you did.
Yep. I think I would say I'm really sorry. I was texting 911 on my phone. I was being mean at my mom. I'm sorry, guys.
Do you remember a little while ago?
What a good brother, dude. Like, I'm sorry, you could argue that he's using his minor brother with disabilities for content. You could argue, well, this is a conversation they could have easily had off camera. You could. But I thought that this was a pretty wholesome video. He's not, like, dragging his brother to hell. His brother is likely not going to come on here and have his, like, feelings hurt by people enjoying the story. it's like I said, having, you know, someone with Down syndrome in our family, you can't just never laugh at it. My uncle's brothers make fun of him so much. And why? Because they're brothers. Because they're not going to exclude him. Do you know how much more ableist it would be if Uncle Mike got a get out of jail free card from all of the brotherhood dragging if they didn't bully him as the youngest? Come on, you're the youngest brother. You're gonna get roasted with all the other brothers. Okay, like, it's just part of being the family. Like, there's just some things that come with it that you have to laugh at. And as long as you're not making fun of the person or putting the person down or making them feel stupid for what they did, it's you can laugh about these things. Okay? They're not making fun of Jacob. They're just laughing at some of the things Jacob did. And good for Jacob, too. You know, like, I think that no one hates Jacob. Everybody loves Jacob, right? Like, we'd look at some of the comments here. I'll open them up. Has your mother been drinking? Yes, officer. Bro, he's gonna do it again. He is such a cutie. Thank you, Jacob, for teaching me that I could teach 911. I'm 35 and I had no clue. Jacob, baby, it's clear you have zero regrets, and that's okay. I'm just so upset at my mom. Get her arrested, please. They texted me. I love everybody calling him a gaslighting king. Like, this was a fine approach. I loved this video. I found it so hilarious, so charming. That one did make me laugh. That one was pretty good. RCN says, "Hey Lauren, you might have already surmised I'm conservative. Sorry, I don't know why I'm hiccuping so much. I was wondering if you're okay with rolling in jiu-jitsu with someone you disagree with." That's like the interesting thing about jiu-jitsu is, like, you really don't have time. You know what I mean? Like, you don't really have time to figure out what you and the person across from you do or do not agree with. Like, so much of the sport of jiu-jitsu is, like, it's, if anything, weight might be the only thing that matters. Like, weight and gender, two things that you cannot fully control. Not fully, right? Weight, a lot of that is kind of what you're born into, for the most part. A lot of it you obviously control, but your religion, your cultural background, your general beliefs, your sins, your past, none of that really comes up, right? Like, most of the time, if you're in jiu-jitsu, and if you're not familiar, this is the sport of grappling. You put on a pair of wrestling pajamas, you put on whatever color belt tells people how much you suck or don't, and then you wrestle on the floor and don't stand up is the whole game there. It's a little bit silly when you think about it, but I don't know. There's usually at the gym, you don't even have time to figure out what a person's beliefs are. You just look around, you make eye contact with whoever's free, you slap hands, you fist bump, and then you go. Like, you're not talking about politics, you're not talking about who's the president or what your religion is. You're just trying not to get strangled and trying to strangle. And that's what makes it a beautiful, beautiful thing, in my opinion. Now, that said, are there people I won't roll with? Yes. If you've made it on that list, you have fucked up with a capital F. I can count on one hand the amount of people I will not roll with. Less than one hand. It's an extremely short list. If you have made it on that list, you have done something so disgustingly, deplorably degenerate, and just like, I hate you. I pretty much hate you. Yeah, that's it's like, if I'm absolutely refusing to roll with you, you have seriously effed up. Okay? A lot of the time though, like, yeah, I'm like trying to think. No, I can't think of anybody I wouldn't roll with unless they did something fucking disgusting. And you would think I would want to roll with them, but unfortunately, I don't want to be bound by any kind of rules. Although that would be a great way for me to accidentally break their arm, I guess. Yes, that's true. No, they're stronger than me, so I couldn't execute force doctrine on them, sadly. All the people I hate and would never roll with could beat my ass. Sadly. But I do hate them. Corey says, poor word choice, but in your opinion, should a quote-unquote normal person be able to date a person with Down syndrome? Do they have that agency? I say treat everyone equal. Yeah. Yeah, it's tough. It's a tough boundary. But I don't know. Yeah, I mean, there's yes. Yeah, I don't know what, like, their caretaker could do if they started to find warning signs of there being potential abuse. Hopefully everybody in their life would be able to be on the lookout for stuff like that, but I think it would be kind of on the same lines as, like, any other kind of essay. You know? Document everything, keep them safe, and, you know, as a caretaker, if you have to say, like, you're grounded from your phone, you're not allowed to talk to your boyfriend anymore, then that's what you get to do. You're the caretaker, you know? It does feel predatory. I really am not sure what someone who doesn't have Down syndrome would fully want to do with someone with Down syndrome besides have a platonic relationship, so it does seem strange. That's a complicated one. Let's see. Bihar says, I studied jiu-jitsu before Brazilian and MMA became a thing. We didn't wrestle at all. It was fighting, throws, and locks. Yeah, Brazilian has definitely changed the game up a bit. For sure. Alright, we're getting to the end. Let me see. I've got, like, I want to show you maybe one more thing. Yeah, I'm going to show you guys one more wholesome thing because I'm hungry and I do still need to get my blood drawn. Yeah, karate and judo is standing, stuff like that, but jiu-jitsu, you're supposed to stay on the ground. One reason I kind of like it. You heading out?
Back to work, baby.
Alright. Did you eat enough?
Oh, I spent my whole break working through deep math equations upstairs in the restroom.
Oh, okay. I was like, I'm usually the only one doing deep math equations with you upstairs. But you meant doing a number two? That's not that deep.
No.
I've never heard anybody use that. I've heard of a lot of weird analogies.
I didn't want to be like, sorry, I was.
You could have said dropping the kids off at the pool. What are some other good analogies for taking a shit? But like doing math equations.
I was defecating on the porcelain throne.
Well, bring some food with you.
I did. I grabbed some stuff. I did. Anyway, I love you.
I'm like, wait, what are we? Am I getting forehead kisses? What kind
kisses.
am I getting? A violent appointment in the office. That one's so good. Babe, you gotta steal that one.
What?
I'm having a violent appointment in the office.
I like that. I'm gonna use that one.
Okay. Alright, I've got another pretty wholesome one for you. So, this next one that I'm going to show you, it's technically a prank. Technically, perhaps, a relationship test. And yet, I'm not that mad at it. Something about it has fallen into the territory of safety for me. It's technically a test and technically a prank, but it doesn't have any like major negative repercussions, I don't think. I'm saying that now, but I might change my mind. Just because this one ended well doesn't mean that it always does. Okay, let me show you to you guys. Do you guys like this? Hate it? You'll have to tell me what you think. First, I gotta reformat format queen. Okay. This one says, watching my boyfriend make himself a sandwich, and I'm going to ask him for it. So, audio only crew, you have to know. They're like at the splash pad doing something. He's brought the cooler, so he has all of the sandwich making equipment with him. She is going to wait until the exact moment that he finishes making his sandwich to strike.
Babe, wait, can I have that?
Absolutely.
No, I'm just kidding. You're so sweet.
Well, I wasn't just going to stuff my face. I thought you were hungry. I was going to make you one.
I was not expecting that. I mean, he truly hit her with the, like, yes, madame, at your service. Like, truly, like, zero hesitation. Like, it was almost like reverse hesitation. He almost answered before she even asked. But you saw he had the mayo, gets the cheese, gets the meat. It was lifting toward his face, and she hits him with the weight. Can I have that? And he goes, absolutely. Not a second thought in his mind. He didn't just pass, he super passed. Like, with not even just with flying colors, with like flying prismatic shards. Truly, like Nobel Peace Prize behavior. And like, it was, and this doesn't feel scripted to me, both because her laugh sounded authentic and like his reaction seemed really authentic. You know? I feel like a lot of husbands would probably have this reaction. That just the kind of instant like, oh yeah, of course. I have all of this stuff here in front of me to just easily make another sandwich. You know, it's just, this is what I'm talking about. People love to paint men as like, men are so violent, men are so destructive. And they certainly have the propensity to be more commonly than women, absolutely. But one thing that people forget about is that men are also the easiest, for better or worse, to completely take advantage of. Men are so much more subservient than women. And I don't mean that as like an insult or anything. I've just always found it ironic that people paint women under this brush of like, women are the subservient ones. They're supposed to be more docile, more submissive, more soft. And in many ways we are. But as far as subservient, I don't know, because men are more likely to agree to go to war and completely surrender their entire lives. Men are more likely to disproportionately work far more dangerous jobs. Men are expected and required to be the first to surrender the life rafts to children and women. The average man, statistically, in reality, in practice, in execution, by all actual metrics, is more likely to serve you than to ever harm you. And how much they serve you might not have as big of an impact as the dangerous man's violence does, right? You might have a million different men throughout your life offer to give you directions, tell you which way you need to go for something, you know, really quickly hold the door for you, offer to let you cut in line, give up their seat, surrender their food for you. But what you're obviously going to remember 10 times more than any of those moments is the man who hit you, the man who stole from you, the man who completely took advantage of you. Of course, that's going to leave a much more sore spot. But in reality, in an execution, if you ask a man for a sandwich, he's probably going to give it to you. Especially if all the shit is right there for him to just make another one. Yeah. If a man has access to the cooler full of sandwich stuff, and you ask him to, yeah, he's going to feed every single person before he feeds himself 9 times out of 10. And if you want to call me a pick-me for saying so, okay, but then let's take a bet. Let's have a bet, okay? Any woman, any man, anybody watching this right now who thinks that I'm a pick-me for saying that 9 out of 10 men, if given access to sandwich-making equipment, would, if asked, make everyone around him food before himself without argument, let's make a bet. We'll go into a situation, we'll find a way to make it happen. I will trick 100 different men into coming to some kind of event, and I will provide all of the sandwich making equipment. And I'll start off by telling him, hey, you can make yourself any kind of sandwich you want with this stuff. And as soon as he starts making it, I'll interrupt him and I'll go, hey, actually, there's a couple buddies, a couple guys coming who are starving. Do you mind making them a couple sandwiches before yourself? None of them will say no. I promise you, dude. Any way we hold this experiment, I will be right and you will be wrong. There is no way I'm not right. I would be willing to bet almost anything that you will maybe find 1 guy out of 10. Maybe. That's the most I'll concede to. You'll only ever be able to find 1 guy out of 10 who's like, do you mind if I just make myself a quick sandwich before them? Because I'm actually really hungry too. And those will be the exceptions of like, he was just starving, believe him. That dude really didn't eat since yesterday. Like, those are the only ones. And most of the time, I bet you there would still be, of those 9 out of the 10, I bet you half of them also haven't eaten since yesterday and still put themselves first. Call me a pick-me if you want. I'm still convinced I'm right. I will be right and you will be wrong. Quote the Dadvocate. Yeah, man. I just think that's natural for men. At the same time, though, like I said, playing a kind of reverse devil's advocate on myself this time, I could see this trend going wrong, right? A lot of this example is if the sandwich making stuff is still available. If we change the test or the prank to be, there's no more stuff. The man packed his own sandwich for something very, very specific. You told him up and down, you already ate, you don't need anything. He hasn't eaten. And then he takes the sandwich out and you go, can I have that actually? I'm hungry now. Now I hate the test. Now I hate it. That's why I had to think about it, because I'm like, wait a minute. The only reason that I'm okay with this test now is because of the exact safety net qualifier of there being a cooler with extra ingredients. If there are no more extra ingredients, and you literally are just like demanding you have his food, I hate it now. Now I don't like it. Unless the test is like, you're both hungry. And the test is he gonna make sure I eat? Weird test to put yourself in a situation of. Like, that's aggravating. Like, you're gonna deliberately like starve yourself just to see if your man will starve himself? I hate it here. But it depends on how we do this test, this prank, you know? If no one goes hungry, I think it's fine. I'm not mad. If there's any version of this test where your man has to be hungry, I'm mad at you. Because I don't like being hungry. I'm a little bit hungry right now. And I don't like. I am not having a good time right now. Matthew says I'd wager he'd still offer to split it. I think that would be a fair down the middle approach. Like, can we just split it in half? I think that would be a good answer. I think that's the answer. You guys really know how to pass these tests, huh? That is funny too. There's a lot to be said for how much I would do for kids as opposed to how much I would do for adults. Kids and animals, they get a special treatment because of their situation. But adults, you're held to a higher standard, you know? Yeah, I am about to go eat. So in our final last few minutes, tell me your final thoughts, questions, concerns, or super chats. We've had a good stream so far today. We've got another one coming up this Wednesday for you guys to look forward to. We've got a viral toxic mother-in-law situation to cover. One that right when you think it got as bad as it possibly could get, just keeps getting worse. We've got that Wednesday, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Gonna be recording some other videos this week that I'm looking forward to editing and sharing with you guys. If you haven't watched my AI plumber video from yesterday, please do. Please like it. I don't know why my long form viewership is like very meh. A lot of my videos get maybe like 10 to 20,000 views at most. And I would really like to start seeing some increases there. So I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's like the type of content I need to cover, if I need a more consistent schedule, but truly liking the videos really does help a lot as I continue to try to grow my channel. I know I like came in here hot with the shorts, so I think that might also probably be what's difficult in raising viewership for my long form, but figure it out. Oh, someone's calling me. My old pal Spam Risk. Zomji says I watched it. I got really mad. Same. Oh, thank you, Devon. Makeupless Lauren next time. I can make that happen too. We can do a makeupless stream Wednesday. I like taking a break for makeup. Makeup is fun. I definitely like feel super cute when I do it, but also love not wearing it either. And yeah, please like the stream. Definitely helps. Super, super helps. Thank you, Cypher Troll. Keep content submissions coming to lauren@dadvocate.net. That is the best way to reach me, like, ever. Anytime you ever think about, like, tagging me in something, email it to me instead if you can. Easiest, best way to get a hold of me. Ooh, I'm starving. I will watch 30-minute videos, but not 90-minute ones. I'm not going to make video content that long. I think I have in the past, but I'm not going to do it anymore. What I'm focusing on right now is 15 to 20-minute content. That's like my goal at the moment, is to have a bunch more of those. Shame on y'all who didn't watch. Look, some people are busy, okay? Some people were too busy watching OTL Rook's live stream every Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on YouTube and Twitch. Dylan says, okay. Oh, thank God. It's so much work doing makeup for the streams. I don't even show up on camera, so I don't know why I have to. That was a great read, Dylan. Thank you. Maurice, that's awesome. I'm glad your boyfriend makes sandwiches. See, I'm not like the most amazing cook in the world. I can cook. I can follow a recipe, but I'm not a fast cook. I'm an annoying cook because I have such a fear of knives that I chop very slowly. And so I'm a very annoying person to watch cook, but sandwiches, we can all make a good sandwich. That's a good one. I'm really good at making sandwich plates. I'm really good at making like girl dinner plates. I can feed you. Okay. That was a good one. All right, it is time for me to get out of here. I'm starving, but this has been a brilliant, magnificent live. I had so much fun. It is time for me to eat so that when I get my blood drawn, I do not slam my face against the floor again. That would be great. Okay, I'll see you guys on Wednesday. Until then, here's the ending.